Emergencies are unpredictable, but you don't have to be unprepared. Peak Alerts sends you targeted emergency alerts in real time for the places that matter to you most, so you know what's happening and what to do next. Know first, act fast. That's the power of Peak Alerts.
Hey there, crew. Good morning. It is Wednesday. It is April 8th. You are watching Peaks to Plains Weather, and I am Chief Meteorologist Matt Meister. Want to let you know about an important update that pushed in the Peaks to Plains Weather app overnight. You'll be able to watch the 24-hour channel right on the homepage of the app now. So that is a little bit different. Been working on that for the last few days and have had a couple little hiccups. You might have noticed the stream going up and down a little bit as we were working on that, kind of moving it over to a new provider and changing how the app worked a little bit. So hope you are having a good day out there today. I want to talk really quickly about yesterday because there was some virga around in the Pikes Peak region. I had a couple raindrops on the Jeep as I was cruising around, did a PA for a baseball game at TCA yesterday. They played Sand Creek High School. It was a really good baseball game. Was 61 the official high in the Springs yesterday, about 10 warmer for Pueblo out across the plains, and the Springs not too different than a lot of the Mountain Valley areas. It is warmer than yesterday in a lot of spots, particularly over the Palmer Divide. Last two mornings we've been in the 20s. This morning, even though there's a 10-degree difference between Kiowa and Lyman, we are warmer than 24 hours ago. Big mountain valleys are the chilly spots this morning as we sit in the mid-20s. So from the foothills eastward, you see that it is noticeably warmer than 24 hours ago. And I think that trend is going to continue across the area through the day today. Checking out Woodland Park this morning. We're warmer than this time yesterday as we sit at 41. Out the window on La Vita Pass, it's 32. So, I mean, that's hard to, there's not a lot of mornings where there's not variability in Colorado just because of our terrain, obviously, like in Nuda. There's areas that are, a lot higher than other spots, but you can see it's a pretty start to the day on McCulloch Boulevard in Pueblo West, where it is currently 39 degrees. So good morning to you, my friends. We've got a special guest on here this morning. We will bring him in, welcome him. Jim Martin, how are you this morning, my man? Oh, wait a second, Jimbo. I've been changing some things, Jim, and I have a little issue here with my buttons that control the audio. Should be able to hear you now. How are you?
I'm doing well. I have a lot of issues with my buttons.
Well, people like pushing those buttons, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. How are you? How was your day yesterday?
Yesterday was a good day. So,
yeah,
life is good. And yep, just no worries yesterday. So
you got this microphone like up on your nose. It looks like it's going to try to pick your nose.
It probably was trying. So it was sneaking up on that old Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah, so. You look like an air traffic controller. Did you get any raindrops on the car windshield yesterday?
We did. It was a nice little drizzle for probably, I want to say, 15 minutes or so.
Oh, nice. Okay, you did better than I did. Did that impact anything that you were doing?
Made soccer, watching a little Shy Mountain girls soccer, a little chilly.
Okay.
But able to go inside and watch some volleyball, and that was not as cold.
See, look at you being quick and nimble, adjusting the plans. Jim, I have a storm in the forecast for early next week that could bring parts of the area, maybe some snow if it worked out right. Given the time of year, with where your house is, would you like if you got some snow? Or are you like, hey, now let's move into thunderstorm season?
Boy, that's a good question.
Well, that's why I asked it.
I think I'm still looking for some snow. Normally, I'd be ready to be done about this time, but our snowpack is so light that anything that sticks around is good in my mind.
Okay, well, there you go. You got it from Jim this morning. Jim, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it, my man. Have a good day. It's good to see you. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. And if you would like to join like Jim did, you can do so. It's really, really easy. Jim used my buttons are really messed up. Oh, my goodness sakes. I've got to just rebuild it all from scratch. So there you go. Okay, here's my... Okay, Meister, stop. When things work, don't mess with them. But there are some links you can use. I put them in the posts on social media. They're the same all the time because my concept here is that when the weather is sort of busy, like maybe next week if we're getting some snow as an example, you just put those links in your browser on your phone, and then you can join me here on Peaks to Plains Weather. You can take your phone outside. You can do it on your phone. I think Jim was probably on his laptop, but you can give a report from where you are. So that's, it's neighbors helping neighbors, as I like to say. Okay, let's jump into the forecast here for the day today because it's going to be a little bit different than yesterday. Here's some of those showers that were rolling across the area. They weren't heavy. Jim got he called it drizzle for 15 minutes. That was a heck of a lot more than I got, as I thought would be the case. Notice how there's kind of more of them south of Highway 50 there than what we had a little bit farther to the north. And we've got that system off to the east today. So we are going to have a little bit different of a day here on our Wednesday. One of the things that we'll watch over the next couple of days are two cold fronts coming in. And you see a little swirl up across the U.S. and Canada border. There are two waves that are going to move up that way, even though they're pretty far away. They will impact our weather with cold fronts. You will notice the second of the two a lot more than you will the first one. So on Banjo's barometer here, got a good day on tap today. Banjo is going with a 9 out there. I think breezes for a lot of us will probably be under 20 miles per hour on the high end of things. And we get a bump into the 80s from Pueblo off to the east. Lots of other areas east of the mountains in the 70s today. And over the mountains, the spots that were in the 60s yesterday and on the valleys, they add a couple degrees as well. So kind of warmer across the board. Here's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you see on the high end, now these are the gusts, so the sustained breezes will be lighter than this, only up around 20 miles per hour. It does change into the evening. This is the first of the two cold fronts kind of backing in from the east here. This wind shift is about all you'll notice with the first front. It kind of washes out tomorrow, and then as we head into the afternoon, you can see it does get breezier on Thursday. That is because by Thursday afternoon, the next front is starting to move in across the eastern plains. That one we will notice more. So today we get some cloud buildups in the afternoon. I guess in theory, somebody could catch a sprinkle up over one of the peaks. It's a pretty quiet day. But notice with the arrival of the front tomorrow, the upper level system driving that, there's a slightly better chance of a shower or thunderstorm. I think particularly over the plains in the evening as that next front kind of backs in from the east, because that one does have more water with it at the surface. So after another warm day on Thursday, you see temperatures not too different from what we'll have out there today. Watch what happens with the dew points as we move from Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. You see the green kind of backing up against the hills, dew points getting up into the 30s and maybe even the 40s by Friday morning. So that's a more significant air mass shift compared to the first cold front that tries to back in from the east overnight tonight. And so for Friday, east of the mountains, we pull back a solid 15 to 20 degrees. Temps are in the 50s and 60s. We'll have clouds around. That will help you notice it. And I do think we're going to get some showers as we push that cooler air mass up against the terrain of the Rocky Mountains. Maybe a little bit more active than what Skycast is trying to pick up on, but it has the right idea. It's possible we even catch a thunderstorm in there as well. So that is a difference that is on the way here as we head through the end of the week. We've got another guest that has joined us this morning. This is pretty fun to have. So I'm loving what's happening here on Peaks to Plains. This is what it is all about. Let's head out to, I think it's the Falcon area. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, pretty good, Matt. How are you?
I'm good, Jeff. What's the report from where you are?
Hey, look at the skies back there.
Oh yeah, a little wave cloud action.
Yeah, pretty sunset. I don't want to take too much of your time. I wanted to touch on something your previous guest said.
Yeah.
You asked him if he was wanting more snow, I think, or
sure,
if he's
yeah,
done with snow.
Yep.
I always look at or think about what the temperatures have been like, right? So it's been obviously unseasonably warm, right?
Yep.
So and when you think about snow falling, some snow's got to fall to get the ground cool enough for it to start to stick on, like, concrete, right? Grass will stick to. What would you say? Talk about what you think about that. What do you tell people? Hey, it's been unseasonably warm.
Sure.
It's going to be, even if we get some snow, it's going to take a little bit
Right.
more. So 6 inches, 6 inches might fall, but only
Right.
3 is going to stick. So we want to talk
Oh, yeah.
about maybe some of the dynamics of that.
Yeah, I've always thought that, if forecasting how much snow falls is one of the harder things we do. I mean, we don't even measure snow that fell well after there are piles around. But you get melting from below. Usually as you get toward the end of the season or at the beginning of the season, you get snow that, like with the water content in it, even after it falls, not only is it melting from below, but it's kind of compacting as well as new snow falls on top of it. So that certainly is an issue. I mean, you're going to have to be up pretty high, I think, to get kind of impacts on roads, even if the snow is sticking on the trees and the grass and that sort of thing, because there's a lot of heat in the ground, as you mentioned. So as I look at the storm next week, I mean, it's colder than, the last few things that have come through and have tried to produce some rain. And it does look like we'll see some snowflakes flying, but, way too early to kind of worry about that. But, the mountains will get some snow. They'd like to have some for sure, even if it's not the best snow to ski on. I think the ski resorts will got to take anything that they can get at this point. So if you've looked at that storm for next week, what are you thinking about it? Because you guys may not know this, but Jeff does have a degree in meteorology, not using that in his professional career now, but certainly a weather geek and certainly checking things out.
Yeah, actually, I haven't looked at it much for this week. I changed jobs recently, and I'm just trying to survive. So I've been pretty busy, getting up to speed on the new job. So
yeah. Well, awesome. Congrats on the new job. I've done that recently as well, and I'm just trying to survive also. So, Jeff, thanks for checking in this morning, my friend. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Thanks.
All right, that is great to see. Let's do some social media posts from you guys this morning. Let's see. Barbara's checking in, and she says, I've got sweatshirts and pants. I enjoy the dark and stars to sip coffee. She might be having a conversation with somebody. I'm not sure. But Barb, good morning. How are you? This is fun. Nice work, Matt Meister. John, thank you. I appreciate that. Jay says, love your interactive weather map. Radar is important to me. One of the things I like about in the weather app is if you have your location turned on in the app, it will kind of open up to where you are. And then you can sort of customize what is of interest to you. So if you are let's say, youth sports coach and you're having a practice outside, you can turn the lightning on. It'll give you alerts when lightning is in the area. You can save the maps. You can save the backgrounds. And so you really customize. That's kind of what I've been going for that. Polly says, waiting for the mornings we can sit outside and enjoy a cup of coffee. I think a few people maybe have done that already. We've had some pretty warm mornings where temps have been in the 50s. Janine says, good morning. And Jeff says, good input, interesting thoughts, survive and thrive. Oh, yes. And look at this picture. Can we appreciate this? Jim put this on social media last week when the Artemis mission took off. This is his son, Josh, and his wife was out of town. It's such a good story. His wife was out of town. She travels for business, and it was school picture day. And Josh wanted to wear his astronaut suit. Now, I don't remember correctly if Jim was like, you know what, mom's not here, it's school picture day, let's wear the astronaut suit, or if Jim didn't know it was picture day, which I wouldn't have known it was picture day if it was me doing this, but that is one of the all-time best school pictures. And so can we just appreciate Jim and Josh for pulling that off? Pretty awesome. All right, time for a short little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the extended forecast with that storm for next week because it is a little bit interesting. Stay tuned.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee.
Here's to 150 years of the state we call home. Grow something beautiful this season. Hydrix Colorado Tree Farm Nursery has trees, shrubs, and perennials that are grown for our harsh climate. Plant smarter with expert guidance and quality plants. Visit coloradotreefarmnursery.com.
At Phil Long Ford Motor City, we've been around for 80 years. That's like 560 in dog years. Basically, we're the top dogs of Colorado. And thanks to our deals, selection, and service, we've earned some pretty loyal customers. And our GM Mark, he's the most loyal guy I know. Even after I chewed up his shoe, it was delicious.
Great trucks, amazing deals, and belly rubs for dogs. Come see why Colorado drives Phil Long Ford Motor City. Hey guys, where's my shoe?
Another attorney commercial with big promises? Millions of dollars, practicing law 24 hours a day, blah, blah, blah. Let's get rid of the smoke and mirrors. None of that really matters. What does matter? Having a medical doctor as your attorney. That matters.
Alrighty, so about that extended forecast here. A couple things driving our weather over the next couple of days. You see this system moving up to the north here. That will head off to the east. That will drive a cold front in tonight. There's another one behind it. That sends a front in Thursday night, changes our weather up for Friday, and might produce a couple of showers as we talked about earlier as that system moves in. Then we watch this system that is off the west coast here. It starts to get us in some southwest flow behind that second cold front with some low-level moisture here after some showers on a cooler day Friday. That wave will kick across the area on Saturday. It'll kick up the breezes. There might be a strong thunderstorm around over the far eastern plains of Colorado, and that will be our more active day of the 2 weekend days. I think Sunday is looking quite a bit quieter now. Then we watch this next system coming in from the west, and this is the storm that I'm talking about for next week. And so there are a couple of things that are interesting here. First, it's a pretty significant dip in the jet stream. There are signs of some circulations in here, and you see how there's kind of some darker orange colors on the back side of the system compared to the front of it? That means there's some cold air and some energy diving into the backside of the system. And when you see those, that makes the systems want to kind of move off to the south a little bit and tend to close off, especially as these systems get east of the mountains and this time of year start to tap some low-level moisture from the Gulf. So there are a couple things we have to watch. I mean, we're talking, it's Wednesday. So we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's 6 days out. You can't get too hung up on these details because they are going to change. But these are just the kinds of things we're watching here and how everything is going to evolve. Now, into Tuesday, it's a little bit slower than it looked yesterday, which kind of makes sense given that energy diving into the backside of the system. But there are indications of a circulation back here. Any storm that has a circulation is more mature than when a system moves through as an open wave. And so that's of interest. And obviously with where circulations are, it makes a big difference in Colorado how far north or south it is. So what we can tell you now is there is a storm that will be moving through the area at some point early next week, and it's cold enough, given that it's diving at us from the northwest, how strong the jet is, that at least over our mountains we're going to get some snow that sticks, and at lower elevations probably seeing some snowflakes as well. If you want to do some wish casting here from the computer model, it's always dangerous to show you these things this far out, but I want to show it to you because the mountains should expect some snow, and maybe over the Palmer Divide as well. Would probably be a wet type of snow that sticks to the trees, the grass, and that sort of thing. So the extended forecast here for Woodland Park, I do think we'll have a couple showers around up against the Rampart Range, maybe up Ute Pass on Friday with that cooler air that moves in. Mountain areas won't drop as much temperature-wise as we will with the second cold front compared to those of us over the plains. And then Saturday is a day where we'll have some scattered thunderstorms around. We'll end up seeing if the chances are better over the mountains and then the far eastern plains than they are right across the interstate. I'll work on that over the next couple of days, but that'll certainly be the more active day than Sunday will in terms of weekend plans. Then Monday, we may start to see some showers depending how quick that storm gets here, kind of overnight Monday into Tuesday. Model's slowing it down a little bit this morning, so maybe we're still dealing with this thing into Tuesday evening. That's one of the things we'll watch, and then we should get kind of quiet behind that as we look at the extended forecast. Always a good idea to not just look at one computer model, but behind the scenes, I'm looking at how, like as an example, the European model is changing from run to run. Also, how it is comparing to the American computer model and how that model is changing from run to run. But notice here, Saturday at 8 o'clock, they've both got that lead wave coming through, giving us an active day, and they've both got that second system kind of in the same place, similar kind of on an energy perspective, which are the oranges and reds that you see. That'll take you into early Tuesday morning, and again, they're not too different. So that gives us confidence that, hey, we're measuring the atmosphere right now. These things have a good handle on the storm. The math in both models, even though they're a little bit different, are kind of ending up with a similar solution. So it gives us higher confidence in the forecast than if these things were not in agreement with each other. So again, outside chance of a storm or a shower at least tomorrow afternoon or evening in Colorado Springs. As the second front comes in, it does drop us for Friday. We'll have quite a bit of cloud cover around, some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder late. I think a better chance of some thunderstorms across the area on Saturday. And an outside chance of something strong maybe over the eastern plains with how much water will be around. There will also be some spots Friday night into early Saturday morning, up against the Rampart Range and the southern slopes of the Palmer Divide, where we have some fog and maybe some drizzle. There's that much water in the lower levels of the atmosphere, which is why we'll keep an eye out for maybe a severe storm on Saturday. Sunday, quieter. I do think we'll get a little bit of wind in advance of that system coming in. Somewhere in that Monday night, Tuesday night time frame, we'll get colder. Now, it might be a little bit colder than this, but you can see, I mean, it's not January, right? Like, we're not talking 20s for highs or anything like that. And then, again, a little bit quiet once that system gets out of here. Pueblo, kind of the same story. We might get a shower with that cooler air mass, more noticeable temperature drop between Thursday and Friday over parts of the eastern plains, east of Pueblo as well. Saturday, the chance of a thunderstorm, then quieter in advance of that system moving in for next week. So I like personally here that there is an active weather pattern to watch. I mean, that's better, in my opinion, than sitting underneath that ridge that we had a couple weeks ago that was giving us all of that warm air. So, we've got some weather to watch. We will do that together. I'll have updates on peakstoplainsweather.com, Peaks to Plains weather app, social media. Pushed quite a few things yesterday. We will do that again today. So my friends, thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing Peaks to Plains weather with your friends. By the way, that app update, if you don't have your settings set to get the latest app, do that today, because there is a significant one that has pushed with being able to watch the 24-hour channel right on the homepage. Hopefully you enjoy that. Have a good day, my friends. I will see you tomorrow morning on Peaks to Plains Weather.